How many times did you tell yourself that you would start working towards new goals tomorrow, but when the day came around, you kind of forgot or felt too lazy to actually do the thing you wanted to do? Or how many times have you been working towards something for a week straight or 2 weeks straight, and then you missed a day, and then you missed another day, and maybe a third day, and then you just gave up altogether? Setting new goals for ourselves and actually sticking to the routines and habits that will help us achieve those goals has quite a lot of layers to it. And a lot of times these layers kind of go overlooked. While some may believe consistency to be this impossible feat or something that they will struggle with for the rest of their lives, this big dragon to be slayed, it doesn't have to be so dramatic, and there are a good few things that you can do and ways to focus your mind to make consistency your friend. Although I am still implementing new habits that are taking me towards these goals and dreams that I have set up for myself, I have learned so many fundamental lessons over the last few years that have helped me be consistent with ease, that have helped me prioritize the things that are important to me, even when they are challenging and uncomfortable in more ways than one. And I honestly don't think I would have been able to be as consistent with my progress if I didn't focus on these three elements of my vision. Now, even before you begin your journey of working towards a goal or a dream you might have, it's really important to understand why this is your goal in the first place. A lot of times we set up these goals for ourselves and we think that they're ours, but if we think about it on a deeper level, we come to realize that these are kind of the goals that our peers have set up for us, whether that's family members, friends, or just people you're influenced by on social media. A lot of times we kind of take on these subconscious beliefs that like we have to achieve these certain things that maybe they have achieved or that they say are important. When if we think about it and reflect on it deeply and by ourselves, we come to realize that it doesn't even feel right for us. It doesn't really like spark any interest or excitement, but we still take it on as ours because we are so highly influenced by our surroundings. So it's really important to understand your purpose or your why, to make sure that your goals are authentic goals for you. Because if you are continuing to work towards some goal, not only like some goal that's not yours, some goal that you don't actually, deep down give a fuck about, not only are you going to, possibly drain yourself working towards something that's not even going to make you happy, and you also might just give up on this goal. And if you don't realize that it's not authentic, then you're going to take on this idea that you have failed, or you might beat yourself up over it. But if you realize that it's not even truly what you desire or what's right for you, then the consequences can be much harsher. For example, if you have decided that maybe you want to eat healthier this year, that's a great goal. But maybe if you kind of peel back the layers, you'll see that you don't truly want it for yourself. You want it because, maybe somebody next to you told you that that's something you should want, which is great. It's obviously a good goal to have, but you don't have a strong enough why. And that likelihood of you simply just giving up or kind of like falling off the wagon type of situation, that's kind of more likely to happen if you don't have a strong purpose for achieving these goals. Or maybe your desire is to grow on Instagram, to grow your socials. Well, maybe think about why you desire that in the first place. Is this a genuine career you see for yourself? Or are you simply seeking validation from your peers? Is it coming from a place of maybe some low self-worth, some desire to be brought up and validated by the people around you? This type of reflection will really help you create authentic goals and maybe modify or completely scrap goals that really aren't your own. For example, you can either do some research, like if you found yourself with this goal that you don't really have a strong purpose for achieving, but you know it's good for you, like let's say the healthy eating thing. Do some deeper research, watch some, documentaries, find domino effects of this habit that will really resonate with you and will drive you and motivate you to work on this every single day. Or maybe if it comes to like the Instagram or social media thing and you realize that, maybe it is me just seeking validation from others, maybe modify it a little bit and work on your own self-confidence. Work on loving yourself more this year rather than having some validation from your peers. Look into meditating or journaling or talk to people in your life around you about these things. That way you can be working towards positive, healthy goals that you are more likely to be consistent with because it's something that you genuinely, deeply, and strongly desire for yourself. Now, after clarifying your vision and your goals, it's really important to really understand your vision in detail and in depth. Sometimes we set up goals for ourselves and we work towards them, but we struggle with consistency because the desire and the outcome seem so far away and we don't really understand how it will feel to achieve that goal, or it seems like such a distant version of ourselves that it might kind of seem impossible when you're working along that path or along that journey. This is why getting into the details of your purpose is so valuable. Because if you sit down and you think of all of the domino effects and kind of like side effects of, the work you're doing, then you will have, more of these reasons and more motivation to show up for yourself every single day. For example, if your goal is to find true, deep, authentic inner confidence, you might realize that the side effects of actually having that are, ever expanding, like, getting better grades in schools because you do better at tests, or nailing job interviews, or going after your dreams more, having, an expanding friend group, having healthier relationships. Maybe you want to move somewhere new and it's freaking terrifying to move somewhere on your own. That will, be such a pillar and such a foundation for all of these things. So if you really realize these domino effects of this one goal you have, that will serve as such a big support for you on this journey that you're on. I highly recommend doing a little journaling exercise and writing down the detailed domino effects, even if they seem small. Write a whole long list of detailed, outcomes that will come from you achieving this goal. And you'll see, like, you might write down 50 different things for this one goal. So that if you see it with your own eyes and, you understand how pivotal this is for your growth and how much it can really change your life for the better, then you'll be much more likely to show up for yourself on a daily basis. Now that you have your why, your strong purpose, your, list of data and support for this journey that you're on, you're motivated and you're amped. Now you can think about practical steps you can take, whether it be on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis, think about the actual actions you can take to get you to achieve this goal. Now, I swear by morning routines, and I think they can be so pivotal for our success. Now, morning routines are a scary thing for so many people. They feel like, you're attacking them and their valuable sleeping hours, and I feel ya. I love my sleep too, but it doesn't have to be so dramatic. You can still get enough sleep. You can still, sleep in some days. It doesn't have to be a daily thing if you don't want it to be. But it's this wonderful thing that you can wake up 30 minutes, earlier than you usually do, and you really set up your mind and your energy for the day, and it can be really empowering. If you wake up and you align with this goal you have, whether it be through a journaling exercise or a visualization meditation, you really kind of align with this energy of where you want to be, and then you go through your day with this energy. Maybe you'll lose it here and there, but if you do it consistently, can't talk today, if you do it consistently, this, meditation or journaling or just morning routine in general, that kind of energy is what you carry every day, and it is life-changing, believe me. So whether you want to add movement to your daily routine, morning routine, whether you want to do meditation exercise, journaling, breath work, whatever works for you and whatever will, help you be aligned with the type of person you want to be, your kind of future self that you're working towards being, really prioritize that and try to work that in as much as you can into your schedule. Now, the last element to ensure that is really nailed down before you work on this journey is to understand that you need to maintain focus on your vision every single day. A lot of the times we have these big dreams for ourselves, and they are very much achievable, and they are much closer than you may realize at this moment in time. But maybe your day-to-day life is busy. Maybe you have a lot of different things to do. Maybe you go to school, you work, you have a family, you have friends, and you have different, priorities or things, to keep your time and mind occupied with. And that's entirely normal, of course. So it's really important that you don't lose sight of what you're working towards. Now, that doesn't mean that you need to, cut ties with your friends, never go out, only focus on, your goal and your dream, unless that works for you. I mean, do what you gotta do. But that definitely doesn't work for me. So what I need to do, for example, to focus on my vision consistently is what I mentioned before. Having that morning routine is pivotal, as well as having these kind of reminders in my space to remind me what I'm working towards and what is important to me, and how I should be prioritizing my time. I like to have a vision board on my walls, which I'm sure you guys have heard of at one point in time, and maybe you have a certain perspective on that, and I get you, but they can be really, really powerful in helping you stay aligned with what you want and what you're working towards. If you actually see the images, if you are kind of a more visual person, if you see the images of what you want and where you want to be every single day, then that can work perfectly as something to keep you on track when you're going through your day-to-day life. Another super powerful tool to use is affirmations. However you want to go about that is up to you. You can write them down or say them out loud, which I think saying them out loud can be a little bit more powerful because you're actually like expressing it from your body. But affirmations, Google, there's so many different kind of resources out there where you can find, you know, different kinds of affirmations for different kinds of, you know, purposes. So find ones that work for you, or better yet, see what an affirmation looks like if you've never worked with them before, and create your own. And then repeat them every day to yourself. You can repeat them in the mirror even, which is good fun. Or you can write them on your mirror, or, you know, have them pasted on your walls. Write them on a piece of paper and put that under your pillow. Write them out every single morning as a part of maybe a new morning routine. You can utilize them in so many different ways, and they can be really, really beneficial in keeping you, you know, in that like energy of who, you know, you want to be and who you are. You already are this person. You just gotta kind of like uncover her or him. And while we're on the topic of journaling, you can also try something called writing as if. I think there's another name for it that I totally forget. But writing as if is like writing essentially what would be kind of like a journal entry or like a diary entry, but writing from the perspective that like you already have achieved certain things that you are desiring. So you write it like obviously in the first person and go through maybe like a full day of what your day looks like in this kind of, you know, dream space, like the desired goal that you have, and write the details of how you feel, you know, what you see, how your environment is, who surrounds you, all these detailed experiences that you want to have. And by doing an exercise like that, you really kind of connect to the emotions that you are seeking, right? You're connecting to maybe an abundance of love, or maybe you are seeking financial wealth or more confidence, whatever it may be. Once you kind of write in that way, it's like, you know, you're writing as if it already happened, so you're kind of feeling it deeper than, you know, maybe some other kind of practices that you've tried before. So it can really kind of align you with that energy that you're seeking and the emotions you're seeking. So try that maybe like once a week, once a month even. It can be a super beneficial practice to try out. And lastly, something that I still sometimes struggle with is to share your goals and speak about them to those around you, those who you trust and you feel okay being kind of more vulnerable with. Once you speak about it and you share it with other people, you're kind of in a way holding yourself accountable, because you're kind of making it real. You know, sometimes we have these goals and they're just in our minds. You know, if you don't have a vision board, you don't write about it. It's literally just an idea in your head. So you can kind of be more okay not holding yourself accountable and kind of backtracking if it becomes scary or uncomfortable on this journey of working towards it. But if you talk about it with people around you and they know about what you desire, then they might be able to hold you accountable. And even just the fact of you saying it and knowing that somebody else knows it, even though that shouldn't matter, but you know, monkey brains, whatever, that might hold, you know, you accountable more on this kind of journey of being consistent and working towards it on a regular basis. Now, the last thing to remember is that if you fall off the wagon or you lose sight of your goals, or, you know, shit happens as it usually does, you don't have to consider yourself a failure. You don't have to feel like, you know, you fucked up and you're not ever gonna achieve this. It doesn't have to be an extreme all or nothing situation. You're not restarting from the beginning. You can get back up and do it again, even if you haven't, been working towards that goal for 6 months or a year, whatever. You're not restarting, you're just coming back, and you still have that knowledge and progress that you made before. So don't beat yourself up too much when it happens, because it happens inevitably to all of us. Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't be your harshest self-critic, because speaking from truth here, it doesn't get you anywhere positive. Our progress is never linear. Our journey will have ups and downs until we die. Until the end of time. There will always be ups and downs. That's just the way it goes. So you just need to be accepting of the phase that you're in. If you're in a down phase, that's all right. Take it easier. Relax more. Go towards, go inwards rather than, be all motivated and amped up for your goals. You don't have to be in that kind of space all the time. Respect and understand the place that you're in, and just know that there will be another high and then another low. That's how she goes. If you have made it to the end of this video, thank you kindly. Please share underneath if you have, different kinds of tips or advice on, staying focused on your vision or on your goals, or better yet, share what your goals are that you are working towards during this time of your life. I'm really excited to connect with you all. Also, please hit that like and subscribe button, because it will help this channel immensely. Thank you for your support, and I will see you in the next one.